Hey, it's Jeffrey with Howells Carpet Cleaning. I'm going to be doing a little bit of stain removal using the Red Exit by Chemspec. Very excellent product. And the method we're going to be using is the iron method. This is a $4 iron that you can pick up at the thrift store for like $4. This one is very small. I like it because it's just a small compact size. You can get in there and really lightweight, easy to use. It is annoying on larger spills and things. However, if you're just using like little splatters, whatever, this one is absolutely awesome for $4. It does the job. It gets it done quick. Now, if you're not experienced with the iron method, I would recommend not using it. You don't know how many homes I go into and I see iron burns on the carpet because the customer thinks that for whatever reason they get the bright idea that they're gonna get something out of the carpet and they end up burning the carpets. Well, unfortunately, it happens in the carpet cleaning arena as well. An uneducated or unexperienced carpet cleaner will go in and try to use an iron and end up burning the carpets. Typically, you want to start out with about 8 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds at a time, just to kind of get an idea for what the product is going to do as far as color loss and that sort of thing, just in an inconspicuous area, just to get an idea for how the carpeting in the area that you're going to be working with is going to react to the heat as well as the product that you're using. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Okay, so here we have a spilled red drink. I always like kind of showing this because it is pretty visual. And what we're going to be using is a classic iron. I actually use this a little bit just to play with this, waiting for this to get up to temperature a little bit more. $4 iron from the thrift store. Great investment. And here we have it, Red Exit by Chemspec. And this stuff works pretty good. So all I'm going to do is apply a little bit of this product to the spot. I'm going to lay this over it. Put this iron down for about 10-15 seconds at a time. And as you can see, that steam, it's just working the coloring. I'm drawing that color out of there. You don't want to do it for more than like 20 seconds, 15-20 seconds at a time, because you want to be careful, because some of the older nylon carpets aren't nearly as color fast as some of the stuff is today, and it will leave a little bit of a white halo around, and then you'll need to use like a mend and blend product of some sort. As you can see, it really does a pretty significant job at picking that stuff up. So that really is as easy as it is for most red 40 dyes that are using a lot of food colorings in drinks. Just have to keep going around and hitting up all the spots. If you had a bigger iron, you could potentially get more floor area done at the same time, but this is what we're doing. Okay, I got this spot here, and so one thing you can do to kind of track your progress is just to work on one small section at a time. So all we're going to do is take out that little bottom piece there. I'm going to set that just over that one little small section that we want to clean, and I'm going to take the iron, place it over there, just kind of let it sit, give it about 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take the heat off of it. As you can see, well, it looks like, other than just this red color, it looks like we got some blue, and that is probably going to need like an alkaline cleaner. So I'm going to switch this up a little bit after I continue working on getting all that nasty purple out of there. You can see it does a real good job of just cutting and pulling that stuff out. And there's a little bit more over there that we're going to be working on as well. So I'm just going to be taking this like couple steps at a time. I might lower the count down to about 5 seconds instead of 8 and see if that gives any different results. Sometimes it leaves other colors behind and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what is actually used to dye the food or the drink. It's usually red 40, and then it's probably one of the most common food dyes. Then of course there are some blues and greens that are used in the dyeing process as well. You could, in your spare time, just look at different popular drinks that people drink, at 7-Eleven or whatever, and kind of get an idea for what colorings are used to dye some of the drinks, the Kool-Aids and whatnot. And then, go back to your cleaning arsenal and make sure that you have cleaning products that are capable of pulling out those particular types of colors. But that's a little bit of R&R that you can do in your spare time, and it'll just help you become a better stain remover at that point. And as you can see, that actually looks pretty darn good after we just went through with the red out procedure. Now, one thing before going to the next spot that's over here, be sure to rinse off your iron, and it's also a good time to rinse your towel out. As you can see, there's quite a bit of green that actually came up in here, so there's more than one color that we're dealing with this in this situation. Of course, there's going to be some red, there's going to be greens, blues, probably all kinds of stuff. So the stain, or the red exit product by Chemspec, is actually a really good kind of an all-purpose food dye remover. However, like I was saying before, it's a good idea just to kind of research what some of the most popular food colorings are, and then look for products that deal with those colorings, and then you're going to be pretty safe as you're going along. And I said R&R, I meant R&D. Do a little bit of research and development. You're not really developing anything, but, well, I suppose you're developing a strategy, so that's having a good solid strategy is always the key to winning. Alright, so although I have not yet confirmed, I believe this OxyBlaster by the low pH formula by Magic Wand is going to do the trick here. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and apply it down where there's a little bit of kind of a bluish hue, bluish greenish hue on the carpeting left over from the removal of the stain that was here. And regardless of what this stuff actually does, this is literally a 97% improvement from what it did look like. So I do know that the customer is going to be happy, but what I'm going to do is just kind of lightly mist that OxyBlaster product on here. It is a low pH product, and I'm just going to allow it to dwell so that when we come in here and do our cleaning, this will be able to oxidize and do its thing, and hopefully help with a little bit of a discoloration, so that when we do clean, it'll just blend everything back to good. Alright, so interesting thing to note, I did want to just kind of play with this OxyBlaster a little bit to see what it would do. So I came over here to where this other purple spill is, and I don't know if you can notice how this over here and down here is purple, and this is more of a pink tone, like what we had in the other room, being more of a pink drink. So with the OxyBlaster, I applied a little bit of heat for a few seconds, maybe 4 seconds, and what it did is that it really, I don't know what it pulled out of here, what that black is. It's probably some oxidizing whatever happened, and along with pulling out some of the color. So I think my theory was correct in that this is going to attack, some of your things that are going to require a lower pH to pull coloring out of. And I think what it did is that it pulled out kind of the blue and the green that was in the food coloring there, and left it with the red. So we can now just go back with the red exit and be able to pull those out with no problem. So let me try applying a little bit of red exit now and do the same process and see if that does not get the spot completely, totally out. Alright, so that is actually pretty cool. So if you take an when you're dealing with like a purple food coloring dye, and you use like this OxyBlaster by Magic Wand, apply a little bit of heat, it pulls one color up, then go back, apply a little bit of the stain exit, do it again, and it completely pulls the spots out of the carpet. Um, that's kind of cool. I've never actually played with pulling one color out after the other. But that's what you learn these little things when you're just kind of playing around, trying to figure out what's actually happening with this stain removal process. Alright, so I went over it again and just kind of gave it a very, light misting, and just kind of give the whole area light steaming. You can still see the red halo that is in the carpeting, but it looks 97% better than what it did. At this point, this is where you would put like a red or a stain exit or something like stain 1 or whatever. Procam, I think, makes that product, and that will pretty much take care of everything else that's left in there. In this case, yeah, we'll just treat it with the stain 1 and leave it. But it looks absolutely awesome just using the iron method with a combination of different products.